Hello, hello, hello. Let me turn my light on. How are you guys doing today? It is Saturday. I'm a little behind on getting my Roxy creations. I was not feeling well yesterday. Um, so I kind of just laid around my house with my heating pad and a blanket and hot cup of tea and just kind of nursed whatever was going on yesterday. Still kind of feeling a little under the weather. I'm very stuffed up this morning. Um, I don't know. Anyway, so we will also be doing. I'll be filming my normal Saturday video, my scrap busting with Melina and Gail. We'll be filming that and uploading that today as well. But let's go. So Rachel at Roxy Creations, her weekly challenge was using junk mail envelopes and turning them into pockets, um, like a flip up pocket. She got the idea from another YouTube creator, which she tagged on her channel. The name escapes me at the moment. So this project works best if you have envelopes that are open on the side, or in this case, not open at all. So you can see I sealed this envelope closed. And also this one is ever so slightly taller. I was like, do I want to adjust that or not? I don't think I'm going to adjust it. I'm gonna do it at the 5 inches that it called for. It should be fine. This is a windowed pocket, and so out of this heavy, it's not vellum. They call it construction vellum or drafting vellum, but it doesn't tear like regular vellum, paper vellum can tear. This doesn't tear. So I decided I had this brilliant idea because I'm constantly struggling when I do collaging over windowed envelopes, dealing with the window itself. I'm like, oh, use this stuff. And, this was what Rachel did on hers. And I'm like, oh, that is a brilliant idea. But rather than just doing a temporary one, I'm going to do one every time I do an envelope. I'm going to do a tab, and I'm just going to label it what window it is. And I will just keep these as a template. I'll make an envelope for them. And that way, whenever I'm using a windowed envelope, I can go through my little templates and I'll already have a little window piece cut out for them. All right, so I'm going to do 2 of these. One I'm going to do for my steampunk journal, and I'm only going to do one because I've got excuse me. I have several projects where I only did 2 because I only had enough supplies for 2 or whatever. So I've got one signature that's not as getting as decorated. Doesn't have as much stuff in it as the others are going to. So I'm only going to do one, just kind of start offsetting some of that other stuff. So give me just a second. I'm going to blow my nose. Always catches me out of nowhere. It's like, mind my own business, and then wham. Okay, so first off, you're going to start your windows and you're going to measure 5 inches opposite the end. If you're using a window, opposite that end. If you're not using a window, it doesn't matter which side you measure on. And I've also discovered that no matter what envelope you use, 5 inches is you're gonna cut over that window just a little bit. 5, and then I'm gonna come across here. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw, if I can stop moving it. So I draw a line across at 5 inches. In this case, I'm drawing it across 5 inches twice. Okay. Now, I'll show you how to deal with this, right? You're going to snip just a little tiny bit there. And normally I would say snip just a little tiny bit here, but you don't really have to. I don't have to since this side's already open. And then you're going to trim just ever so slightly the edge. Okay. Just because I can't cut both sides like that, I'm going to flip this one over. I'm going to trim this down. Now, if you imagine this is closed, right? You'd have a little see-through there. So then you're going to cut across this line. Like so. And open that up. I'm going to fix that in just a moment. Okay. This one, and I'll show you. Snip. Snip. Snip off that little tiny piece. Snip down to that tiny piece. And then again, you have, that's gonna, okay. I didn't realize the construction of this envelope. So I'm going to have to alter this ever so slightly. But this one's going in for my idea book. So that's okay. Okay. Let's see if this doesn't open flat. It's got a so you end up with a pocket here. a pocket here, which this will be closed up when I cover it. And then these two little flaps. And what you're going to do is you're going to adjust this flap. Shouldn't need my ruler anymore, but so you're going to take this edge and you're going to bring it down here. You can bring it all the way flat and flush if you want. You can leave it just a smidge up. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. And then you're going to go in and refold. So then you end up with this flap. Same here. I have to figure out how to deal with that. Just cut off if I can. Hopefully it doesn't. Come unglued. I check. It was my pharmacy calling to let me know that I have a prescription ready. It's for my EpiPen. And now getting notifications from Timo. My nose is driving me crazy. I'm just kind of marking here for the sake of this project where this window will end. I am recording with my door closed because I don't know. My dogs are barking like crazy. I don't know if that's because my husband is home or if they're just barking to be barking at Barkingstons, because that's kind of, they bark at air bubbles. But just in case. Yeah, my husband had to go down to Oregon and go get his the oil changed in his work truck. So the company he works for is based out of Oregon. So any kind of services that he has to have done, he has to take it down into Oregon because that's where the billing goes out of. So oil changes, tire rotation, everything. Their account is down there. That did not tear like I wanted it to. Okay, and then I'm going to use this. Draw around. Whoops. Got to be a little more colorful with this paper. Very fragile book page or newspaper print. This was out of a entertainment paper from 1970, October 9th, 1970. So very old, very fragile paper. And then I'm gonna cut out that spot for that. I still need this for one more time. And I'm going to get down into my bag of straps. Let's do this one. I'm going to go this way, actually. Now, one of the things I didn't do on this one that I should have done was left a little bit of room to fold over. But in all honesty, chances are I would not be able to fold that over anyway. Just because it's so fragile. I think it would just crack. Sorry, reaching behind me for glue pages. Okay, another piece in here that I can use for backing. Putting a nice little pile of those over there. When I tore the pages out of the book, I didn't go through and pull those out ahead of time. So, that's just kind of how it's going to have to be. It's going to be is that I'm going to have to, as I go through them, I'm going to have to pull them one by one. I'm a little nervous about this because, again, this is super, super fragile paper. And I'm at the end of my glue stick, which then created that situation. Because that hard plastic piece grabbed it. Okay, so we're just going to take this first. I'm going to glue it. I'm just going to glue it on there, separate. that. So I do have this spot where it was already tore, and then I didn't measure that properly, so I have this gap crossed up here. So with that, what I'm going to do is grab a piece of sheet music. I'm not going to worry about that little circle piece just yet because I may be able to cover it with something from my digital kit. And then that also gives me something to fold over there. So with this, let's trim this real quick. Well, and what I did was didn't measure it incorrectly, but what I did was I measured this based off of the highest point where it tore where it tore crooked, so that it would cover. Well, I didn't account for that. You don't have to trim that. If you feel like, once everything is covered, you'll be able to still see your lines. I am not confident in that. So also, if you don't want that line there, set this out flat and let it dry first. Set that over there. This piece. But anyway, my husband had to go down to Oregon today to take his truck in for an oil change. So I don't know if my dogs were, he's home and that's why my dogs were barking, or if they're just barking because they're barkers and they bark at everything. That is so not on their straight. Let's try that again. Hey, wow. What is going on with this paper? And now all my glue is gone. Okay. Okay, line it up from the bottom, and then the top is crooked. I line it up on the side, and it's like no matter where I line it up, it seems to want to be crooked. Okay, so I'm just going to overhang it on all sides, and then I'll just trim around it, because that was getting more than annoying. kind of creating this one, started out just being like ocean. It's going to be like travel themed. Okay, well, we're going to straighten this. Sort of. It was so cool. One of my friends, she didn't start out as a friend. She started out as somebody I was supervising through my job, my old job, one of my old jobs. But through that job, we became friends. And we talk mostly through through Facebook, through Messenger, and I haven't really been on. I mean, I go on Facebook to go to my junk journaling group, and that's just about it. Pretty much it. And I got a notification from Facebook the other day that I had been tagged in a post, and I'm like, when I said this like a couple weeks ago, I think too, was that a name came across my Facebook, and I'm like, well, that's weird because I only know one person by that first name, but I didn't recognize the last name. I was like, that's odd. Well, and I got tagged in a post, and I was like, wait a minute. She got married in January. And I'm like, what? So that's really cool. It's been a long road for her finding happiness. Finding happiness within herself so that she could find it within somebody else. So I'm very happy for her. Okay, so this is one benefit to having this currently cut open, whereas this side is not, right? This is solid. Is that when I go to cover this long piece, I'm going to be able to slide in there with no problem. Whereas here, I'm going to have something that's glued, and I'm going to be trying to stuff it down in there. So it definitely is a lot easier to do when this is open. It just means that when you cover this, you have to wrap something around to close off that side. I just don't have anything wide enough on my desk for and looking, in the grunge, for my steampunk journal. This is another page that they got, two pieces got stuck together when I was copy staining them. So this became something that I was inking on. I'm going to go this way. And then what I'm going to do here. Man, I'm going to end up cutting out the part that I like the most. The part that makes it the most grungy. All right. Just going to do it. But anyway, it was cool because she actually tagged me in pictures that were taken many moons ago, like back when we first met. And back when I was supervising her, I was like, oh, I took those pictures. Okay, so for starters, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this part laid down. Do my best to cover up any imperfections in the cutting and, anything like that. Okay. Now, you may have noticed I didn't glue all the way down yet. And that's because I want to be able to go like this. So I don't want to glue it just yet. I mean, this is a big piece to glue. You could collage this. There's all kinds of things you could do so you're not having to deal with, or so that you're not dealing with such a big piece. But, I mean, yeah. There's things you can do. I chose not to. I'm going to snip and snip. Okay. And then we're going to snip up the sides. Trim off all this extra. Okay. Again, set this off over here to dry. Let's see. Oh, it's matte. Might as well use it, right? It's here. Might as well. Okay, I'll show you what I was talking about not having the pocket open. So because the pocket's not open, I have to glue all of it essentially at one time. And with a gluey part, I have to try to get this down inside this pocket with it wanting to stick to everything. And a lot of times you just end up taking it for however it lands and working around it. That's kind of where this just ended up. I also have, this strip here that is anyway, the strip right here that's showing, that's not covered. Let's see. And since we're travel-y, let's get a piece of this atlas page. Thinking I could run the entire length of that. Then it wouldn't look so out of place. That's not the glue stick I want. This page is going on upside down. And that's just because of the flat, where the flat edge is. Again, I got to try to get this tucked in without it sticking to everything else. Without it sticking to everything you don't want it to stick to. So there's that. Let's see, what do I have as far as the decorated grungy paper. You can have more of this. Let's use this one. Oh, I also have these. Like, where to go? So these are bubble just so you know, these are bubble paint pictures that my granddaughters and I did. Take a bowl of soapy water, add in some acrylic paint, and with a straw, you blow bubbles into the soapy water. And once you got bubbles high above the edge of the rim of your bowl, you take your paper and you touch down on the bubbles, and so you get, these little bubble pops. I got to remember I need to leave some on the edge over here because I need to wrap around and seal up that pocket. Where's my ruler? There it is. And just for the sake of continuity, I'm also going to leave some to wrap around. I'm going to wrap it on both sides. Here. That's barking at something else. Somebody else, I should say. Because that was most definitely not a diesel that just drove by. So I know that is not my spouse. Just one of the neighbors. I'm going to line up across this top here. Again, making sure that there's this edge over here at least, because I need that to seal up this pocket. Get out here, flap. Move that flap down. Wrap that around. This side is only wrapping around so that the edge, I don't have to worry about the edge. It's not serving any other purpose. Trim this off, being very careful not to cut into your pocket. Couldn't tell you how many times I've done that. I'm just going to trim this. There we go. Pocket was a little crooked there. Woo! Let's knock this off my desk. Scanning my floor for atlas pages. And per usual, it's not tall enough. So I want to go up here, put something down here or here, put something up there. I think I'm going to go that way because then I can break this up color-wise. That way. Seriously. I'm going to go just the width plus a hair of my ruler for no other reason than I know that I don't need much coverage here. I also do not need it this wide, which means I don't need to glue that much, but I'm going to flip it. I want the red. I want some of that red showing too. Reddish brown, whatever color that is. For the sake of not having scraps, I'm just going to fold them around. Again, don't need to, serving no purpose other than not creating more scraps. I mean, obviously, it does strengthen the pocket, but the pocket didn't need strengthening. So, especially this one, since it's going into my idea book. Same thing, just trim off the extra down here. Okay. I'm going to set this off to the side, let that sit and dry. Move pages out of my way. Okay, now this, I'm going to fold this down. Again, getting out all of my ephemera. Looking for one of the tall, skinny things. I was kind of in this thought process. But it's all bigger than what I, in my mind, recalled. Same with these. I mean, that would give a nice page embellishment, though, because it is the height of the pocket. Kind of like that. So with this, I am going to bring out my inks since this is going into the journal. Pull off the walnut stain. I think I grabbed my black dauber to go in my brown ink because this is definitely not solid walnut stain going around those edges. But that, honestly, in this case, is really okay. Set these aside. Okay. Nicely, that cleans off. Okay. There's my husband. I just heard my dogs come running through the house as if, their booties were on fire. At least one of them. Drives me crazy because, she's an old lady. And she spends all day running around like she's a young pup. And then all night long, she just, whimpers and moans and groans and limps miserably because now she hurts. And I'm like, well, you would chill out during the day and stop acting a fool. Okay, I'm just gonna mucking up the edges here. Yeah, this was definitely my black dauber. Oh well. Oh well. again. I mean, it's grunge, right? I need to get a little bit of glue up underneath right there. My black and my brown daubers, I get mixed up all the time. I'm thinking that I need to do, take a page out of Pam at the Paper Outpost. Take a page out of her playbook and just put some string on it so that I can tell them apart. So I think I've cross-pollinated them enough times that they really look... They really look a lot like the same. Oh, she looks kind of nice there. Too big. No, I still like her better. Way too big. Too little. Nope. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this one. Bring my ink back down. Okay. You up here. And then let me grab my tab punch. Let's see. This is the coveted whale tail punch. It was the best in the junk journaling world. Like, it's kind of one of the items that everybody wants. I was fortunate enough that I found it on Marketplace. All right, distracted. I'm trying to figure out what my husband's doing. Besides making a bunch of noise. Okay. And then I'm going to hold it on the fold. Just like that. Oh, I still need something right there. I mean, I don't have to, I suppose. Definitely want to make sure that that's glued down better. Come on, glue. Come on. There, now I got some glue coming. Okay. Let's see, do we want to leave it? Grungified like that. I do have these. Do a clove and a spade. Let go. That is in there crooked. Oh, it's glued down. So, nothing I can do about it. Okay. There's that one. Train that down. As you may have noticed, there's some liftage going here. It happens all the time. And it's okay. It's an easy fix. I'll just leave that glue open though. Cut way crooked. There's some more there. I don't really have anything to decorate this one with other than what's already here. I mean, I could do some die cuts of, like, if I was putting this in a journal other than my idea journal, I would probably do some die cuts of some sea animals. Now, because there's no window here, I can go center. I can go off to one side. Doesn't really matter. It's kind of personal, your personal preference. I'm going to go off to the side. That also helps secure that corner a little bit since it's really not wanting to stick. All right. Now, you can decorate the back of this and have it be a clip-in. Like it could go in like, whoop, like so, and have it be a removable, or glue it straight down onto the page. And then it's a piece of your journal, flip, and a pocket. And you also can decide whether you want to do the U-shaped glue and turn this either into a top pocket or a side pocket. So I'm going to do the U-shaped gluing. On this one. Make sure I'm on the right page. Try to center it as best I can. Excess glue. Now, when you make tags, you have a pocket that'll fit, that's here. And in this case, the pocket would be, or the tag, I should say. You'd probably want to go 4 by maybe 4 by 6, 6.5 ish. But because I glued with the U shape, this is also a tuck spot. So you end up with a double pocket. Got one here, one here. You can also add a piece of paper here and put another pocket on your flip if you chose. Like, say like this. U shape, and then you have a pocket here as well on the top of your flip. Lots of possibilities there. So that is week 10 of Roxy's weekly challenge. Thanks for tuning in. Already yelling at the dogs. Put them outside. You wouldn't have to be yelling at them. This is a never-ending argument. He insists on the dogs being in the house, but then is frustrated with them the whole time they're in the house. It's like, well, then put them back outside. I am dating that for yesterday since technically this was supposed to be done yesterday. So March 8th, 2024. So again, you've got a flip with a pocket made out of a junk envelope. And I glued it in with the U shape so that there's an additional pocket here as well as here. And like I was saying, you can also add a U-shaped pocket or even an L with a tuck. I wouldn't recommend a tuck if you're going to do that, just because this is movable. So if you're doing it as a tuck, stuff is probably going to fly out. I also wouldn't do this as a gusseted pocket. I would do it as a nice tight pocket so that whatever you put in there also is less likely to fly out every time you lift your flap. All right, so thanks for tuning in with us this week. Stay tuned for scrap busting with Melina and Gail coming up shortly. And hit the notification bell so you know when more videos are dropping. Until next time, bye.